They called it the Renaissance, the rebirth of art, culture, and human brilliance. But behind the marble palaces and glorious paintings lay a darker truth. For women, beauty was not a choice. It was a duty, a reflection of their husband's honor. To look pale, delicate, and angelic was to rise in society. To look ordinary was to fall in shame. And so, women risked everything. Their health, their blood, even their eyesight. All sacrificed on the altar of beauty. Welcome back, everyone. If you love uncovering history's darkest secrets, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tonight, we enter the Renaissance, but not the one of Michelangelo or Da Vinci. This is the Renaissance of leeches, poison, and pain. In Renaissance Italy, beauty was more than skin deep. It was status. A woman's appearance was seen as the mirror of her husband's power. The whiter her skin, the softer her features, the more angelic her presence, the higher his honor in society. This was not simply vanity. It was survival. A plain-looking wife could shame her husband at court. A radiant, perfect wife could elevate his prestige. And so, women were trapped in a cruel game, forced to meet impossible standards or face ridicule. The rules were clear. Pale skin, rosy cheeks, bright hair, and large, dreamy eyes. These were not preferences. They were laws written by culture. But how could women, with no modern cosmetics, achieve this ideal? The answer was as dark as it was dangerous. From leeches sucking blood on their faces to poisonous drops in their eyes, Renaissance beauty was a theater of pain. And the first obsession was skin as white as marble. In Renaissance Italy, beauty began with the skin. The ideal face was ghostly pale, almost marble-like, but with a hint of red on the cheeks like a statue come alive. It was not simply fashion. It was a declaration of purity, wealth, and nobility. But how could women achieve such unnatural beauty? They turned to one of the most grotesque tools in history, the leech. Ladies would lie still as live leeches were placed on their ears, their cheeks, even their necks. The creatures sucked blood, draining color from the skin, leaving it pale and almost translucent. The slight bruising created a reddish tint on the cheeks, mimicking natural blush. For a brief moment, the effect was everything society demanded. White skin, red cheeks, the perfect Renaissance mask. But the risks were horrifying. Excessive use could lead to blood loss, infections, and ruptured veins. Some women fainted. Some never recovered. The pursuit of beauty had turned their own blood into a cosmetic. And yet, this was only the beginning. If pale skin was the canvas, golden hair was the crown. And to achieve it, women exposed themselves to fire, chemicals, and the burning sun. If pale skin was the canvas, then golden hair was the crown of Renaissance beauty. Blonde hair symbolized youth, divinity, and desire. Women with naturally dark hair would go to terrifying lengths to lighten it. They mixed dyes from saffron, onion skins, alum, sulfur, and soda. Their hair was coated in these burning concoctions, then exposed to the blazing sun for hours. Imagine the scene. A woman sitting fully covered in heavy garments to protect her pale skin, while her head alone bakes under the scorching light. Many suffer burns, brittle hair, and even permanent damage, but golden strands were worth the pain. Yet the true madness of Renaissance beauty was reserved for the eyes. Big, round, glistening eyes, this was the ultimate mark of allure. And to achieve it, women used drops made from a plant both deadly and seductive. Atropa belladonna. Belladonna, meaning beautiful woman, dilated the pupils, making eyes appear wide and shining, like the heroines of romantic tales. But behind the shimmer was poison. Prolonged use blurred vision, destroyed eyesight, and could even lead to blindness. Still, women risked everything. For them, to be admired was to exist. And beauty, even when born of poison, was more precious than life itself. But no poison, No flame, no leech could stop time. And in the end, every mask of beauty came with its price. For Renaissance women, beauty was survival. But every secret, every ritual, carried its deadly cost. Leeches left scars. Hair dyes burned the scalp and poisoned the body with sulfur and lead. Belladonna blinded countless women. What society demanded as ideal beauty slowly consumed their health, their dignity, and sometimes their lives. Behind the portraits of angelic women in Renaissance paintings lay a harsher truth. Those pale cheeks, golden locks, and luminous eyes were not gifts of nature. They were masks crafted through pain. Each brushstroke of beauty concealed nights of fainting, sickness, and silent suffering. And yet, history has always been cruel to women. Their worth measured not by their minds, but by their faces. Their beauty praised, their pain ignored. The Renaissance gave us art, science, and rebirth, but it also left behind a darker inheritance, the reminder that beauty, when dictated by power, becomes a cage. Today, we look at those paintings and marvel at their elegance. But behind every masterpiece was a woman who bled, burned, and risked blindness, all for a fleeting illusion. This was the true cost of Renaissance beauty. And so ends our journey into the Renaissance, not of art and glory, but of pain and sacrifice. What do you think? Were these women victims of society, or willing players in a cruel game of beauty? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more dark stories hidden in history.